Hey Herbalife crew, it's President's team member Rob Walsh from my office here at home on the Gold Coast. And first of all, I'd like to say hi to all my friends, old and new, and people that I haven't had the chance to meet before, because this message is going to go out to who knows where. And it's very, very exciting for me to be able to do this, because I just got off a call and it took me back 27 years ago, if you can believe that. Because I got started in my Herbalife business. I actually started my business in December of 1991, and I got to supervisor very quickly in that month, and that was the way we did it back then. And you can still do that, but there was a real sense of urgency, and I'll tell you why. My life was not where I wanted it to be. I was 38 years of age at the time. I was overweight. I was living on quickies. I had psoriasis here on my elbows, all through my scalp and on my shins. And you know what? I was terrified of going into my 40s being like that. Financially, I was in a worse state. I owed the ANZ Bank over 100 grand. And every single month, I was going down the tubes a grand, a grand, a grand, a grand, a grand, every single month. And I saw Herbalife as my chance to turn that around. The other alternative was really, because the bank was pressing me so much, I thought, well, listen, I'm going to maybe have to go bankrupt or something like that, which I did not want to do. I saw Herbalife as my opportunity to get out, and I thought, if it took me 6 months to get to the stage where I could make an extra $1,000 a month, then well and good. I was sure I could hang on somehow for 6 months. But, my coach, Gary de Bravina, the legend in Herbalife, Chairman's Club member, Gary de Bravina, he said to me, listen, Rob, he said, look, do you see an opportunity with Herbalife? And I said, well, definitely. He said, okay, great. Do you want to make a lot of money or a little bit of money? And I said, well, Gary, I want to make a lot. And a lot to me was probably not a lot to him or anyone else. But it was, I said, I want to make a lot. If I've got the choice, I'll take a lot, of course. He said, do you want to make it sooner or later? I said, sooner. He said, okay, then I'm going to tell you what you need to do. So my ears went up. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do. If you're in a situation where you don't want to be, if your life's not worked out like you thought it was going to, if last year didn't deliver to you the things that you hoped that they would, it doesn't matter. Strike another match, right? It's a new flame. It's a new day. It's a new year. And we've got a brand new opportunity. And I want to talk to you about specifically one thing that made so much difference for me, that it culminated in me sitting here today as an executive president, 28 years in the business, and having made and still continually to make a fortune, okay? So if you're interested, lean forward, okay? Here's what I did. Gary said to me, if you want to make a lot rather than little, and if you want to make it sooner rather than later, then you need to get to our Fast Track Leadership event. And I said, I love the sound of that, okay? I said, tell me what it's about. He said, well, look, and I'm going to make you this promise. You're going to see things you've never seen before. You'll hear things you've never heard before. But most importantly, you will feel things about yourself and your future that you've never seen before. Now, I don't care if you've been around for a few years. I don't care if you're saying, yeah, Rob, I've heard this story before. Yes, you're hearing it again. Okay? Strike another match. Start anew. If you're just new in our business, and if you aspire to financial independence to whatever degree that you do, if you aspire to that, then you need to be at our Fast Track Leadership Development Weekend, which, of course, as you know, probably is called our Spectacular. Now, here's the interesting thing. Some people that I talk to say, look, I really want my life to change. I really want things to be different, okay? But I'm not going to go to the Spectacular. And I say, why would you not do something that is only going to help you get to where you want to be? Okay? It's a little bit like saying, look, I want to change careers, and there's this course I can do at night school, but I'm not going to take it. What it really means is that, you don't really want to change your career, because you're not doing the things that could move you towards where you really want to be. Really, you notice I said that, right? Okay, so here's what I'm saying to everybody that's hearing this. If you've got your Spectacular ticket, great. Now, pack your bags because it's only a few weeks away, right? We're not far off it. In fact, I'm looking here, but well, 5th of February, we're leaving. We're leaving on the 6th of February, okay? So it's only a couple of weeks away. So if you've got your ticket, pack your bag. If you haven't got your ticket, you've really got to think, okay, what other single thing could I do next month, right, that's going to have the potential to change the way my life is going, to alter the course of my river that's running my course of my life. What other possible thing could you do this year that's going to have anywhere near the potential on the outcome? And I don't see it, guys. So here's what I'm saying. If you're okay bumping along, and if you've become a Herbalife member, you know, just to get a discount on your products or just to see what would happen and put your toe in the water, well, that's okay. But in any event, get down to Adelaide for the spectacular. Open your eyes as to what you've landed in and see the big picture, because if you haven't yet, you're kind of peeking through the keyhole of the door into the Herbalife room. That's what you're doing. You're peeping through the keyhole. You can see it, but it's a little short picture. Going to Adelaide is like the IMAX theatre of life. You're going to see what's possible and how you can take advantage of that possibility. Okay? Now, I've also heard, and I really don't get this, that some people have purchased their ticket but have said, well, listen, I crashed the plastic a bit much over Christmas and blah, 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 whatever, okay? And I've got my ticket, but I'm not going to go. Again, guys, listen, you make your own choices, of course, but if you've got the ticket, go, okay? Listen, I just want to tell you this story. Seppi Paulo, a guy from New Zealand, he was a pastor, he was losing his home, the bank had already issued the get out of town papers, okay? He found Herbalife through a flyer in his letterbox, he came down to a meeting, he checked it out, he started telling everybody in his congregation about it. Enough people got on the products that he made enough cash to be able to put the bank off for the time being, okay? And he was told that if he really wanted to have his life change, to get to this fast-track leadership weekend called our Spectacular in Adelaide. Now, Seppi was in New Zealand, okay? Now, he obviously didn't ride a bike. He didn't skateboard over or ride a horse, but somehow Seppi got enough money together to fly from New Zealand to Adelaide. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'll stand corrected, but I'm pretty certain he spent the first night in a bus stop and then stayed in a backpackers. He went to the school, went to the event. He saw things he'd never seen. He heard things he'd never heard, and he felt things he never felt. He went back to New Zealand, a changed person, because he had a vision. He put that vision into action, okay, and within, I think, a year, Seppi, maybe 18 months, he was a president's team member, and his life has absolutely changed, okay? Now, is that a typical story? No, of course not, okay? But it happened, and what I'm saying is, why would you miss out on something that had such enormous potential to change the way that you and your family, the ones that exist now and the ones that are coming, okay, how could you justify really not going to that weekend? It would be an investment in you. It's not a sightseeing holiday. It's not a holiday weekend. It's a business investment in yourself. Now, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you made a business investment in you? You bought a new printer. Great, that's a business investment. You bought a new computer or laptop. Great, that's a business investment. You know, what about you? Make the investment, get down there, and have your life change, because you'll come away from there with a vision like you can't even imagine now. I just want to share this with you, how my life's unraveled, okay? I went to the event in Adelaide. I saw the big picture. I beg your pardon, my event was in Los Angeles. You think getting to Adelaide might be a little tough. I had to go to Los Angeles for a weekend, guys. I borrowed the money off my mum, I borrowed the money off my mum. 38 years of age, Mum, can you lend me some money? Right? And she did. God bless her, right? I went to Los Angeles. I saw and I heard and I felt, and I came back, and that was it. I left my job the month after that, and I've had a full-time Herbalife career ever since. I mean, before I said, you know, your children and the ones you have now, the family you have now, and the ones that are coming. You know, when I started my business, there was me. I recruited this girl who's now my wife, Christy, okay? My first granddaughter came along, and then another one, and then another one, and then another. Now I've got 10 grandkids, and just on Saturday, my second, or our second great-grandchild showed up, and as life goes on, more and more things will happen. So you've got no idea the things that can happen if you put some fuel into the vehicle. You can have a Ferrari, and if you don't fuel it up, it's not going anywhere. Let me say this to you. You found it. You found it. Herbalife is your Ferrari. Put some fuel in it. Get to Adelaide, and I promise you, you will not regret it. If you go to Adelaide, you will not regret it. If you don't go to Adelaide, and you could, I'm pretty sure that down the track, there'll become a time then you do regret it, that you didn't take the opportunity and didn't go. Of course, whatever you decide to do is on you, because this is your own business and you're the CEO. I'm just sharing with you what happened to me and what I've seen happen to others over 27 years. And this is the one big thing that you could do to make the biggest outcome for 2019. So at the end of 2019, you go, tick, that was a great year. Look how far I've come since February. It's unbelievable. And now you've got a full head of steam to going into 220 and 221, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2030 is just around the corner. So guys, I'm really, really excited. I just want for you what Chrissy and I have been able to get from Herbalife. It doesn't matter if you're in my team or not. You're all in Mark Hughes' team. I'm in Mark Hughes' team. Okay, I just want this for everybody. So take a little bit of a lead from an old dog, right? 65 in 2 weeks. I can't believe it. What? 65 in 2 weeks' time, and I'm so jazzed up about the future. I can't even tell you, and I want you to be part of. Get to the Spectacular, guys, and come up and say hi. I'd love to meet you. All right, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you soon. See you in Adelaide.